What's up, everybody? And in this video, my monsters are going for, we're all having a picnic. There's a horse in the background here. I'm going to tell you what to outsource in your agency. And this is kind of an interesting thing because a lot of people have no idea what to outsource, how to outsource it, and how to have those winning relationships where people actually make you look good. So legendary marketer Dan Kennedy, by the way, said there's only two things you can't outsource in your business. And I tend to agree with him, by the way, on that, which is why I'm telling you. Number one is your message. Number two is the checkbook. Because otherwise the bean counters tend to take a little extra for themselves along the way. But other than that, actually everything in your agency can be outsourced. And I'll tell you the biggest reason why most people can't is, I'm hearing something crashing down in the woods. My alarm daddy senses. We're all having a nice little picnic. I guess it's a biker, another path. And what you want to think about, the key principle in doing this right, by the way, is how can I clone myself? How can I clone my processes, my decisions? And one of the things that's really helped me, it's been a big shortcut for this, is as I'm doing something in my agency, is I fire up a little free software called Loom, and I make a little screen recording, and I explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Usually slows me down about 5 minutes in the moment, but it allows me to clone what we're doing and why we're doing it, so that I can then send that video to some kind of virtual assistant. And I'll tell you, in the beginning, when I hired virtual assistants or real workers and salespeople and all these things, it tended to be a lot of hit and miss and more miss. I would try people out and, not good things would happen. And I always concluded, like, the problem was the people. Like, I just keep getting not the good people. And it wasn't until I got really good at implementing our systems and our processes that I found that almost any employee can be good, at least good, if you give them the right tools to really succeed. And so one of the things you want to think about in your agency is, how can I build a process library where things get done like McDonald's, that kind of regularity, but without me being the one to do it. I want it done my way. Usually we're like perfectionists, a little bit anal, and that's okay. If you just put those anal details in your Loom video and say, here's how I like it done, I'm very particular about this thing, and you'll find it'll get done your particular way. So as far as what you can outsource, coming back to the original question, is you can outsource all of your delivery, ads, email setup, copywriting, offer making, split testing, all of those kind of things. You can outsource your sales. In fact, we've actually reached the point in our agency where our sales are outsourced to a Loom video or a Google Doc. That's the magic when you get your offer right. You'll probably hear me say that a lot. And you have something that's easy to sell and downstream. You can outsource all kinds of cold outreach and getting clients and ad management for getting your own things. You can outsource content creation. I got an awesome guy who edits these videos for me. His name's Mark. You can outsource your, I call it your department of gratitude, making people feel good and making sure your clients are happy. You can outsource the communication. You can even outsource the delivery. So the only two things that are really kind of off limits, I would not outsource your message, and I would not outsource your checkbook, because somebody's going to take their little cut. But if you do this, what you'll find is you can build an agency that actually scales with relative ease. And I compare this to an airplane. A lot of people don't know this. The Wright brothers had a competitor, and I forget the guy's name, who was trying to get to building an airplane before them. And his theory at the time was, let's just build a real big fucking engine, and it'll fly as long as we have an engine. And the Wright brothers had a very different philosophy. They believed we needed to glide first on the air before we strap a big old engine to it. Once we get that, we'll know we have it right. We got to get the wings right. And a lot of times in people's agency, when they think about scaling and outsourcing, they're like, oh, Heidi bee, where are you going? There's parenting for you. So a lot of times when people think about scaling and outsourcing, they don't think about building a system that glides. And so they work real hard. And what happens is if you scale without putting those processes and systems in place, it's a chaotic mess. I know because I've done it. I've gotten actually up to 100 clients at once in the SEO space with no systems and no processes and pure chaos and phone calls and interruptions and meetings and proposals and insanity every day. And I've also done it, as you see now, chillaxed, walking in the forest, making my processes and my systems do the work. Still working hard, but you're working hard intellectually for how to make those things kind of happen. So I hope that is helpful for you guys in understanding how to outsource strategically. So we got a car coming through here. I'm going to go say hello to my Heidi B.